came from a distant land. Our lives already planned. We came in ships from across the sea. Never again home we'd see. And now we become American fruit with African roots.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Apollo Show. We got another episode coming for you. Today, I got my special guest. It's a friend from back in the day. He's the definition of Black excellence when it comes to representing Northside Minneapolis. This man, he came from where I came from, and a lot of other people came from, and he made it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real proud of this young man. Like I said, I was watching him grow up from a boy to a man, and I got for you, Mohammed. You know what I'm saying? He's a director, he's an actor, he's a writer. You know, and he's a coach, you know what I'm saying? He teaches people how to act and everything. And, you know, we just got to have a quick sit down with him and just get his background and what he's all about so I can share you guys this guy with the world, actually. So how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. It's good to be here, man. Thank you for having me, brother. It's good to see you.
Yeah, I ain't seen you in a while, man. Like I said, man, you got a lot going on. I'm like, man, I got to speak with this brother and get a catch up on all the stuff you've been doing because, man, you're a busy, very, positive man. I like that, bro.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you keeping up with me. And like I said, I look at you, look what all you got going on, man, and the responsibility you have now to, sort of get the youth involved with the messaging and stuff like that. Because your position is, man, it's vital, to our culture. Because what I found in, our media outlets is we tend to sort of focus on a lot of the things that like sort of the weirdest things that can be possible. We make it popular, and we make that the norm, and that's not normal. It's not normal for somebody to be putting glue in their hair, doing all these different things, and they give a notoriety, and it makes other youth want to do that. And it's like, no, that's not the right way that's not the right way we navigate. And it's up to outlets to really understand that we don't want to popularize, foolishness. You know what I'm saying? We don't, and so I'm. It's an honor to sit down with you, man.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and just tell us, let the audience know where you come from, you know what I'm saying, a little background, and how you, just original, just a brief, tell us about Muhammad.
Okay, cool. Well, my name is Mohammed Ali Ojarigi. I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, actually in the Southeast Projects. Grew up there until I was about 3, and then I moved to Northeast, stayed there for about 8 years, and then moved to the North Side Minneapolis when I was like 8. And had a great upbringing, man, both parents. And I would say being a Nigerian American, I've had, some sort of, I think I found my way into the career that I'm in now is because I sort of had to navigate and dumb down things that made me unique. And I feel like that's incorporated in what I do now is trying to reach the youth quicker to understand that your uniqueness is the thing that you should really lean into than hide from. Because I hid from, my name. We talked about this a little bit, how my name is hard to pronounce. So I had to, continually correct my teachers and people. And to where I shrunk my name up. I shrunk my name to Mo. People call me Mo. And then, teachers couldn't say my last name. So I would say Ojari. And that's how most people knew me as. But this is the way I navigated it. And in a way that turned me into an artist because I was able to sort of I was just trying to fit in and navigate the world in a way where it wasn't like a splash, and I didn't want to show off my uniqueness. But yeah, man, that's where I'm from. I'm proud to be a North Sider. And I want to just, continually try to help the youth and, help them grow.
So what got you, over where we from, it wasn't really, pushed out there to get in the theater. What got you started in that?
Oh man, well, I've always been doing sort of theater, man. As I said, I think just from my upbringing, I've been acting, just without knowing I was acting. I was always doing something or mimicking things. And in school, I had a teacher named Mr. Pedersen. And this guy, he pulled me aside after class one day. He said, basically, man, you got some talent. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? Because at the time I was just making jokes and cracking, having people rolling in class and making fun and just, mimicking people, even mimicking him. And he's just like, you have a talent, man. He's like, why don't you come over to the drama department? So he brought me over to the drama department in North High. And Miss Polinsky was the teacher at the time. And, we sat down and she asked me if I had a monologue and all this sort of foreign stuff that I had. I'm like, what is all this? So she asked me to prepare something and she told me what a monologue was and I prepared something. And lo and behold, man, I studied a movie called In Too Deep with Omar Epps, LL Cool J, and them. And I remember this sort of portion of Omar Epps' speech about being an undercover cop. It didn't really apply to like my age, but I remembered it so well, and I sort of took it in so well, and I came and performed it. And she actually put me in advanced drama, and man, and then as you know, man, I came up as a hooper. I thought hoop was like my thing. I thought I was gonna be a hooper, but when I got into the theater world, man, there was nothing like that, man. It was just like the release I got, the confidence it gave me, just so many intangible things that the theater world gave me that I was like, oh my, I love this feeling. I felt so connected to it. And yeah, man. And then she, her and Mr. Daly, who all took over after Miss Polinsky, gave us the reins to sort of create our own shows, because we didn't have many people come to our shows at North. You know,
Right.
probably 4 or 5 people would show up. But then when we got to write our own stories and write little sketches, we filled up the auditorium.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, then that really, like, oh my God, that really like filled me up with a lot of joy. It was like, oh my God, man, like, this is crazy. Like, I began writing in high school, really, honestly, like sketches and different things, and the people responded to it. And yeah, and then, you know, sort of here we are.
All right. So did you have to go to any like schooling or anything college-wise to get, you know, better at your craft?
I did. I actually went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and studied theater performing arts. And that in itself was another sort of challenge, because at the university level of theater, we didn't have the creativity, the ability to create our own shows. So I got kind of dumbed down to do sort of shows that didn't apply to what I wanted to show. They had shows where we would be butlers, maids, or just servitorial roles, and nothing that really exemplified Black life as I knew it. So that kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth, man. And basically after I graduated from college, I graduated from UNLV and came to LA and wanting more, thirsting for more, man. And we also have a theater world where it's hard to navigate what we're doing, because we're so enclosed, and you got to be in the buddy club with us. So that was another thing, was like there was people that were putting on things or in environments that I wanted to be involved in, but it's like you gotta kiss butt, you gotta do all this stuff just to try to get in and and show your skill set. So I created my own. After several years, I created my own, and I opened my own theater in East Hollywood. And because I was tired of complaining, I was tired of like trying to say, "Hey guys, look at me, I'm over here. I got enough," and I created my own. It was called Moments Playhouse, and did a lot of great things. And just wanted to. And then from that point on, I realized we can sit in complacency and not move a lot. That's what we can talk about this, and somebody did me wrong and that. But the reality is if you don't move, you stay stagnant. You stay in the same place. And what I wanted to do was, and what I continually do is I just try to show and prove.
Right. So tell us a little bit about the plays. We can start talking about the Garden Roots, and then we can talk about maybe what was that other one called? Greenwood 1964.
Yeah.
Just give us a rundown on those, because like I said, at Garden Roots, man, I checked it out. And it's like, I'm like, make you think, man.
Yeah, well, everything I'm gonna do will have it. I want it to be something of shock value. I want it to be something that makes you a little bit, I don't want it to be stuff that make you watch and you say, "Man, that was good. Let's go eat dinner and let's just, let's hang out and what's next on the menu." I want it to be something that sits with you. Everything I create, I want it to sit with you, and I want you to think about it. I want you to wrestle with it. I want you to be mad about it. So Garden Roots is basically, and this is the stage, all my work I do as stage plays, and then I adapt them into films. So right now I have a film on Amazon called Your Land, and that has to deal with the slave trade and terminologies. And it's a debate between a student and a professor that's on tenured, and he's supposed to be teaching Black history. But lo and behold, the student who is supposed to be like a throwaway, like he's looked at as like a thug. He got a hood on in class, his head's down. He doesn't look like he's paying attention, but he actually has a lot of knowledge, and he gives back to the teacher. So it's really cool. So I would advise people to check that out if you get some time. And it's a love letter to us,
So hold on, not to interrupt you, but I just want to touch on that quickly.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie, man. Logically, I never thought about the slave trade before. And to be honest with you, what's messed up, I'm older than you. And it took me watching what you created to make me really go back and be like, because not everybody gets deep into our history. And I'm one of those people, I never went into the deep research, but then it's just like something as little as what you talked about with that young man in that movie, as far as like, it makes no sense that you're going to be defecating on top of each other. You're not eating. It's such a long boat ride. How would this even be possible? And then it almost made me go back to like the Bible stories and stuff like, hold on, there's a lot of stuff that logically it sounds crazy, but it's been a passed on tradition. And I'm just curious to what's your, like briefly, what's your thoughts on that whole logic and, behind what's behind that?
Well, it starts with a quote. The quote is, history is told by the victors of war, right? So if we've been conquered and we haven't written our history, we haven't written the history, the victors of war have, why would they give you your true history?
Right.
Then it comes to questions. Okay, we have evidence of, they give you everything. They give you photos of the slavery, of us being enslaved. They give the whips, chains, the old shackles, this, that, and the next. But where are the ships? Where are these big, massive ships at?
Right.
Where are they?
Right.
You don't think that they wouldn't put that up as some sort of monument because they put everything up as a monument. You don't think they would be trying to search and dive and figure out everything they could about this thing to show like, oh, this happened. No. They can show everything else. So it came with questions like that, questions of what words mean, like the simple things that we throw around every day. Where do they come from? And then realizing a lot of the stuff that they have given us, man, is stuff to sort of veer us more away from our culture. But you know what happens is the truth always it comes up. It's resurfacing. You know what I mean? Like you can try to hide the truth, you can try to cover it, but it comes up, it pushes through. So, and that's what's happening, because I wrote Your Land in like 2011, and now it's becoming popular. Right now, people are asking those questions that I had way back. There's documentary movies, there's all kind of stuff, and this is just, that was just from me being curious, man, about, not even being curious, but being upset, curious. There's so many different things about, that I feel as we get older, man, you're like, I missed out on so much.
Right.
There's so much. So just imagine getting this kind of information to someone that's young, and they're able to do it. I said it in the interview before, man, that Tupac's quote about being young, like when you hit 30, that's when sort of the society rips the soul out of the man because it beats you down so much. You got to go through so much. But then imagine being empowered with your history as a youth. Imagine what could happen. Imagine what could happen, man. So it's a love letter to us, man. And I really, really suggest people check it out.
Yeah,
and,
definitely. It's worth watching. Like I said, it made me think. Like I said, I'm older, and out of all my lifetime, I never took time to just think about that logic. And it seems very simple, but it's just like if you really don't take the time to just think about it. Like I said, I'm sure I'm not the only one who haven't really looked at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's right in your face.
Yeah, everywhere I've been with it, man, it's the same sort of reaction. People that are our elders are like, they're like, oh my God, like I'm blown away. Like I never thought of that. It's because we've been institutionalized with a mindset to not even think like that. It's like, this is your history. This is what it is. And I have children, so it's my responsibility to pass on this kind of stuff to my kids, because I know in school they're not going to give you this. Right. They're not going to give you this kind of empowerment, and that's just the truth. Because a lot of teachers, and this is not to their fault, a lot of the teachers were given the same education, so they can't say anything about it. So another thing I'm trying to do with Your Land is also get it into the school system. It's a short film, and this is something that kids can digest easily and dive into, and also debate about, so that this is what I'm looking to do with that short film.
Man, like I said, that was a great idea, man. I really like that. And it was right to the point. It didn't even take up much of your time. It was like, 15 minutes or so. And it was a lot of information to think about in a short period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Short little film. I got a little crew together. I wrote it. for the NAACP. Like I said, I wrote it in 2011 and produced it as a play. I got feedback from it. And they're like, we want more. They're like, you should make this a movie. So I just made it into a little short film, man.
So what about, let's speak about Greenwood 1964. Give us a little rundown on that.
Yeah, so Greenwood 1964 is a play that I wrote in 2012. And that's a play on Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte. It's about a trip that they made to Greenwood, Mississippi in 1964. And it's based on a true event that they actually did take this trip. But the debate that they have in this safe house, which they are kept in Greenwood, Mississippi, is between them two, and they're both coming from different backgrounds. They both are like brothers, man. They have so much in common. They have a rich history together, and it's a really powerful debate between them two about where we are and where we should be going and how to get there. So they got to figure out how to get there. So it was very sort of ironic to see the film One Night in Miami. Actually, the actor who played Cassius Clay, I coached him for that particular audition.
Right.
So yeah, so it was ironic how similar now even the show was to my play Greenwood 1964. So it's really awesome. And that's another piece I'm trying to actually get to the Penumbra Theater and to the Guthrie, as well as my other show, Garden Roots, which I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us briefly about Garden Roots, the whole, the story behind that.
Okay, yeah. So Garden Roots is a story about an ex-con who basically gets out of prison. And when you got that, that stain on your name, when you're a felon in our society, you're walking dead. And he has to figure out a way to navigate the world with this stain on his name. They won't hire him. They won't, he has to, he can't get student loans, all these different things that come along with that stain and how to survive. So he has to figure out how to eat and provide and do all these different things for himself. So he basically gets within, planting his own foods. And it's a metaphoric story of how getting back into the soil, just the natural things that God has put here for us, and what it can do to your life and the transformation it does for the community in a whole by him just getting back into back into the soil, planting his own foods, the meaning of the foods. And it's just a metaphor. Gardening is like a metaphor for life. You live and some things have to die. Some weeds have to be taken out and all kind of things. So it's just a metaphor for life. And once again, that's another it's another piece that I'm trying to get over to the Penumbra, the Guthrie, Mixed Blood Theater, so people can sink their teeth into it. We helped establish a garden over in North Minneapolis through just a reading of the show a couple years ago. So that's another thing I'm very proud of, because it's a call to action. Not only is it a show, but we can take this model along with the show and start urban farming wherever it goes, which can help people that are coming out of the system to have a place to work.
Right.
And make it real, make it an actual thing. So it's more than a show. It's like it's real life, and that's what I'm about.
Yeah, that was, like I said, that was all right. But like I said, I'm like, man, Muhammad deep. I was checking your stuff out. I'm like, yeah, you make people think, man. I'll tell you that much. Like I said, you can't come to watch anything that you're about and just come there with, a one-track mind. You got to open up that, your parameter and look at the whole thing. Because like I said, it's like you said, it's metaphors in there. And like I said, I was just like, man, I was very impressed with your work. I'm not gonna lie, man. Seriously, you got some impressive work behind you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
So how's it been though? Like, as a black man from Northside, in the theater world, like how is it? How do they treat you? How do they accept your work? How do you get work? Like, has things changed? Is things still kind of difficult or?
Yeah, man, it's a continual challenge. Just from the standpoint, I would say starting out, you just happy to just work, in the beginning, you're happy to do work. then you start realizing like, oh, I'm not really fulfilled with the work because it doesn't, the powers that be put images, and images are so important to culture. So important. That's why I said what you do is very important. So if you put people up there that are doing nonsense and you're publicizing them, people are going to think that's the way to do things, or they're gonna think that's how things are done, or that's how this group of people acts.
Right.
So images are so important, and realizing that as an artist, I say, man, you start realizing like, man, I'm just a pawn in the game as an actor, and I'm not able to really tell the stories that are impactful. And the space given to that is limited, very limited. Even like I said, within our own confines and the things that are supposed to be deemed as Black, we have our own sort of gatekeepers that keep us away, keep us out of telling the truth, and are ushering new stories in. We got to pay homage to the Lorraine Hansberrys and the August Wilsons. That's very important. But something that after I wrote Greenwood 1964, I got a chance to speak with Mr. Portier, Sidney Portier himself.
Right.
And he, one thing he left me with was, he said, with my voice, I should be speaking to my generation on things that we're going through. Because as our people, we live in nostalgia a lot. It's great to know your history, but where are you going? Where are we going? And what we do, even in our art, we love sitting in the past and dwelling in the past. So something he's put on my heart and in my creativity was, speak to my generation and speak to the problems that we have, but not only the problems we have, the unknown is so important. The unknown, where can we go? The possibilities of where we can go.
Right, because that's what I say on this channel too. We acknowledge the past, but we're focused on the present and the future. That's one of the things I push. And the reason behind it is, because it's like, our parents, they give us a lot of knowledge, but at the same time, even with my children, they got to improve on the knowledge I send to them and then pass it on. And it has to be an evolution of improving knowledge, to the point where, we start elevating,
That's
over time.
Right.
And
That's right.
getting the level we're supposed to be at,
Yeah, I was just talking with my teacher. I mean, not my teacher. I was just talking with my wife. So I guess she is my teacher. and we went on a walk this morning with our baby boy, and we were just talking. I just said, man, the mark of a great teacher is you want the student to be better than you.
Right.
And there are teachers that I've encountered with that they want to sun you, they want to keep you down. Right. They want to keep you in little bro mode. They want to keep you in like this thing they don't want you to surpass. And the mark of a great teacher, the mark of someone that's truly great, is someone that wants you to be better. And they want to give you the resources. They want to give you the keys. They don't want to hold some of the keys back from you. And that's right. What we do in our culture for some reason. It's very weird to me. And then the mark of a student, which is very important. This is something that is dear to me, is the great mark of a student is remembering that source, never forgetting that source. Don't think it's about you when you get to your successes.
Right.
Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget about the people who have helped you along the way. I came up, like I said, very blessed. Man, on the North Side, I had Keith Davis, who worked at the YMCA, was a major, and I never forget. Matter of fact, the garden on North Minneapolis is named in his honor.
That's dope. That's dope.
Because I haven't forgot where I come from, and I never will. Renee Pulley, all these people that have really took me aside when I was a youngster and said, "There's something special about you, man." And then not to mention that, man, like I have both my parents who were pivotal, who are my role models. There's nothing higher than me. But I also had outside influences, which are very important, man. I had, think about it, J.R. Ryder, Isaiah Ryder, who played for the Timberwolves, slam dunk champion, as a mentor, someone I could call, someone that took me out to eat. That's unusual for a kid, man, from the North Side. I had Kevin Garnett.
I remember that, man. I remember those.
Take me under his wing. He's a brother to me. These are my brothers right now.
Right.
Take me under their wing. Like, man, I'm speaking from a very privileged standpoint, man, because a lot of people don't get these experiences. But to have that, man, and to be where I am, sometimes I reflect on that and I get emotional because it's like, why? I had a lot of time to think about things, and I had survival remorse in a way where I would be like, I'll sit alone sometimes, and I get emotional because it's like, why am I blessed? Because it's like I know so many people that I want to help out, because that's really what this is about for me. It's about pulling people up, and helping out as much as I can. And I know so many people, but it's like I'll be flying around the world and doing different things, and I get emotional because it's like, why am I getting this? Why is this happening for me? And I want everybody to experience it. That's the kind of heart I have.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
so right now, in the nation, I'm sure you pay attention to the news and stuff. There's been a lot of racial tension, and I believe it's been politically motivated. That's just my opinion. So what's your stance on, the current race relations in the world, and people, what do you think the key is to people finally learn to get along better? Because it seems like stuff keeps getting tried year after year,
Yeah,
going way back years, decades. And
absolutely.
what's your stance on, especially current day times,
Yeah,
what's going on in the world? How do you think people can get along better from different backgrounds?
that's key. I think because like I said, we've been indoctrinated with a certain type of history of, I'm this, you're that, you do this, I do that. And it keeps us, we're so separate, man. We are so separate on so many different things. And this is from across the landscape of all the brothers and sisters out there, everyone. I'm talking about everybody that's watching this, everybody that breathes air. We have so many different sectors that they put us in, that if we're able to really take out I'm a Muslim and you're a Christian, or I'm this and that. If we take away that and we just see the person for who they are, that's half the battle. But part of the reason is that I feel like we are in our situation is because we don't really know our history and our power, and because it's been kept from us once again. And I think at a negotiating table, if you don't have any power, then you won't really get looked at the same. And everybody at the table knows about your power. That's the problem with this stuff. They know that you've been beaten down. They know that your history's been stolen, but no one's really saying that. So people outside of the arena, I would say, of Black natives, I would say people outside of that gotta look and look inside themselves to figure out what's wrong with me before we could try to go anywhere talking about unifying. People got to look within themselves to figure out what is it with me. You got to check yourself, and then we can start having a true discussion of something where we need to unify, because that's where we all want. Everybody wants unity,
Right.
But it just comes by checking yourself and checking your true temperature of how you truly feel and what kind of stereotypes or ideas do you have about other people and other races and different things of that nature. And like you said, I think that it is an agenda. There's an agenda always. That's why, like I talked about, the images that they pump are for a reason. The powers that be, to keep you stirred up and keep you in sort of a rat race instead of slowing down. The pandemic has done that for us. It slowed us down a little bit.
Right.
It slowed us down to where now we got to pay a little more attention. But more than the attention, man, we got to actually dig deeper into ourselves. This is our time to really look into ourselves. That's what I'm talking about. Us. We got to look into ourselves and find out the answers, the keys, the questions that really can get us out of the hole that we're in, and get us to a place where we can be at that negotiation table and start really understanding where we need to be, so we can really have some unity in this world, which is really needed.
Right. And like I said, that's what I said, conversations, people need to start, stepping outside the box and dealing with other people you normally wouldn't deal with, and just trying different things you ain't tried. I mean, that's just in general. Like I said, even coming where we come from, you're almost in a box if you don't got the right people around you. And you got to just step outside that box, and people explore stuff and be finding stuff later in life that wasn't presented to them, which is like, that's why I say it's important that people like my age, your age, younger, whatever, we got to start passing on different traditions, because we want them to elevate higher than what we was presented with. Not saying that the people before us did wrong It's just we're supposed to take the little meat that they gave us and build on that and pass that on a little bit thicker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's I have an ebook on Amazon. It's called Momentum, and it's dedicated to the artist, but you can actually apply it to anything, any career, anything you want to do. All you got to take out is the actor part, or trying to be an actor, and you can apply it to anything. And it's dedicated to the youth, so you can dig deeper in yourself and ask more critical questions about why you tick. And the antidotes, man, that really come along with knowing yourself at a younger age, man, is vital, man. And like you said, yeah, we got to pass on that information to the youth and let them deal with it, let them wrestle with it, and be there to sort of guide them, and not try to act like we have all the answers, because things are changing too. Like how we get to certain things, communication. Look at us, we're communicating through Zoom and all this stuff now, and doing all these different things. Times change, different things are happening, and we got to also embrace change as we get older, and the youth is taking the reins, and sort of listen to them as well. It's a dialogue that we need to have.
Right. I think that's the part that people, a lot of older people miss out on, is that it shouldn't be a pointing the finger, listen to what I say. It should be exactly what you said, a dialogue. So that way they can feel like their opinion matters. And that's a way of pushing up their, their self-esteem and everything else, and their self-confidence, is by, acknowledging that their opinion, that the youth's opinion matters, but at the same time, you're still throwing in a little wisdom to pass on, to add to their, what they're learning. Because you gotta respect that person as a person,
Absolutely. Yeah, man, for sure.
So speaking on that, so what are advice, like, like I said, where we came from, it wasn't really pushed to get into theater and acting. So what advice would you give to, say, the young boys and young girls out there, that come from where we come from, that's thinking about it, trying to think of the steps to take to make it happen?
Well, one, reach out to me because I got you. You can check me out. My website is www.ojarigi.art. That's OJARIGI.art. I'm a great resource for you. And I say that because, like I said, a lot of the people that I came to coming up, they would give you a couple little nuggets, but they didn't want to give you the game. They didn't want to give you the truth. They didn't want to, it's like they wanted to keep you as sort of a student and keep you under them. So you got to keep trailing. What I want to give you everything I got, and I want you to surpass me. I want you to go far as you can and have the most success you want. But being, like I said, being from North Minneapolis, man, and getting into the theater world, I would say is so therapeutic, because I think for us, our experience of being here in the Western world, man, it's something that you need an outlet. And theater is a great outlet. And I think that's why I fell in love with it so much. Besides, basketball, it's emotional outlet where you can really get out whatever it is that's inside your heart. You can really get it out, and you can be different things. You can be whatever you want to be. And the imagination is like limitless. So like I said, I want to just be a resource for people, man, that can call on and depend on that. I'm gonna guide them and help them out along the way.
All right, that's, like I said, I know what you're about, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I can keep saying it over and over. I'm super proud every time I look at what you done become. Not saying you was nothing bad, but we used to be goofy, playing around, hooping, but being silly. But it's like, I see what you done grew into, man. And it's just like, man, I gotta say, man, as a person a little older than you, man, I'm extremely proud of what you represent, because you let me know that, people gotta understand where we come from don't mean what the news presents. It's a whole different type of world over there. Yes, it's a lot that goes on that bad that we experience and all that stuff, but you know what, though? It's a lot of excellence come from that, you know what I'm saying? And so people just gotta, do their part, and we all got a part into helping this world become a better place and helping people understand, different backgrounds, different people struggle, different things. So people can start, like I said, people need to learn to trust each other eventually. And I think trust comes with, to get trust, you got to start understanding and having a little, empathy and looking at other people's, where they're coming from. So that way people aren't so quick to judge, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, yeah, you're right on. And then, like I said, just to reiterate, also because like I said, we got this downtime. This is the time, man, where you can be calling your grandma if she's around, or your grandfather, your mom, dad, asking critical questions about your history, because that's going to empower you. And I'm speaking directly to the youth right now, because it's such an important time, than rather just like, what's Cardi B doing, and what's everybody doing, and what's the turn up. It's like, this is the time for you to turn down a little bit and really go back and figure out who you are, and try to ask the real critical questions. Because like I said, I did that, and I came up with a rich history. Like I said, my father, Nigerian, I come from the 9 families in Nigeria, in Wamba, that are a royal household, the only 9 families that can rule. That's part of my history. My grandfather was a superintendent of Wamba's federal prison. His nephew was the chief of Wamba. My grandmother was the princess of Kwanzaa.
Wow.
So just think about like what that does to somebody when you know that kind of stuff. And imagine getting that kind of information, if you can, when you're young. Man, it's so empowering, man. It's so empowering.
Right. And that's why I say it's important to do what you're doing. Because like I said, there's so many things to tear people down and keep people, from elevating to their, where they're supposed to be at in life. And so it's good that we all, that know what we know, do our parts. Because it's not just one person can make a change, man, and make things better. It's like it's a combination of people doing different angles and different aspects of, the problems, and coming up with solutions and trying to improve this area and that area. So it's like I said, I appreciate everything you do, bro. And like I said, I'm extremely proud of you. And I know your motivation is from the heart. There's a lot of people that do stuff with agendas or for, to fill their pockets. I know that you, end of the day, you love seeing people smile, because there was a lot of people over north like us that, like, end of the day, we had homies of all different shades and colors and different areas. And it didn't matter. You're a cool dude. You the homie, and that's for life. As long as your heart is good and you ain't out here trying to twist the people or, twist me. That's pretty much how people move,
That's true. And I'm glad you said that, man. And I'm humbled by it, because we do have people that are in our culture that it's all about, them. And it really, if you really look at the coin, like, they are able to sort of, they are able to market themselves wherever the culture is shifting. They're that, and they do this and that. You got to watch that behavior. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are, they take advantage of the culture, and we allow them, but now we got to start looking at it for what it is, and start letting them people go their way and do what they got to do. But we need to support the real people that are actually out here about something and doing something, for the people, without the agenda, without, really wants liberation and really wants unity for everyone, so we can really get together and really make this world a better place to live.
Right. And like I said, this is a form of being a warrior, man. You got to step up to the plate, because there's all types of warriors for evil and bad doing. But people with good hearts and good intentions, you got to step up to be a warrior, just like people from the other side. And like I said, that's part of my motivation why it's like, I'm going to try to go different angles at it, to do my part, and, collaborate with people that I know got similar interests in the world and similar interests in, their fellow man. And so it's like, that's part of the reason why I reached out, you know what I'm saying? Because I already know, I remember you, and like I said, I see your work, and I know where your work's coming from. It's coming from the heart, and I believe that, you know what I'm saying? So before we wrap this up, why don't you send out, some websites, any events you got coming up, you know what I'm saying? And, I know you're trying to get into Guthrie, so just shout out, let us know what's going on.
Well, once again, Guthrie Theater, Mixed Blood Theater, Penumbra. I am trying to get in touch with you guys. I've been trying to get in touch with you guys for a long time. I have some really great plays, ones that I didn't even mention, that I've written, that I really can touch the community and bring us together. So you can reach out to me. Anyone can reach out to me. My website, once again, is www.ojarigiart. And that's OJARIGI.art. So www.ojarigi.art. I'm on Instagram as ojarigi.artistry. And you can find me on, Facebook, everywhere under that. So man, I mean, it's an honor to be here once again, man. To you, it's crazy, man, that here we are. You know what I mean? Because I remember us, back in the day, hanging out on the north side and politicking, cracking jokes. Because we stayed cracking jokes and having a good time and having fun every time. So to sit down with you, man, and see you, man, as you are, as the man you are, and doing what you're doing, I salute you, and it's an honor to be here, man. It's an honor to be with you, bro.
And same to you, bro. Like I said, man, it's like I'm super proud of you. You know what I'm saying? And you just keep going what you're going, because you're gonna get where you're trying to get. You're gonna get there, man. I believe in you. And like I said, I really appreciate what you're doing. And like I said, it's much needed, and it's gonna pay off in the end. And like I said, I'm happy for you. I see you got a beautiful family. You know what I'm saying? I see you out here doing it. And like I said, it's only gonna be a amount of time before I look up and you're gonna be the next Tyler Perry or something on that statue. Like I said, I believe in you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man. And when that time comes, man, what I want to do is like I said, I want to bring people up, man. I don't want to be just the head honcho. I don't want to be the person that everybody is, looking at as the thing or whatever. I want everybody to shine as big as they can shine, as bright as they can shine. So if you with me, trust me, we gonna come up together. So I appreciate you.
Like I said, I don't know. You remember Steve Jackson? Kareem's dad, Kareem and Jamel's dad.
Yeah.
I just did a sit down with him the other day, man. Like I told him the same thing I'm going to tell you right now, bro. It's like I like to give people, I like to create trends that's manly. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to follow trends. And one of the trends I want to start is giving people their props while they're alive. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, giving them their flowers. And so you're younger than me and all that stuff, that don't matter. You making it happen. So rather than be like, oh yeah, RIP to homie, all this silly stuff that people promote, I'm saying, dude, salute to you, Muhammad. You are representation of Northside Black excellence, and super proud. You make me proud to be where I'm from, even though I'm proud of that. But it's just like I said, we showing people what it's all about, and we're gonna continue to do that. And we're gonna go back. We're gonna get these youth and try to help them get better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I appreciate you, man, for that, because once again, in our culture, that's what we do. When people are gone, that's when we want to shout out and say, oh man, they were great. And it's like, man, even like I said, the art, speaking on, just getting into the art form and the sort of the gatekeepers that we have. You imagine the voices that we didn't get to hear, bro, because of these gatekeepers that we got. The new voices, because we're paying homage so much to, Shakespeare and this and that and that. What about the Shakespeares that are living right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yep. What about those voices? It's like they're being held back, and that's something that I can't stand for. And I want people to make some noise with me to sort of eradicate that kind of behavior from our institutions.
Yep, use our influence, man, to change the trends. That's the moral of the story. You know what I'm saying? Use our influence to change the trends, and it starts with getting to the children because they coming up next. And so, like I said, I got a lot of things I'm trying to do. I want to push politics on them, all types of stuff, so real change can happen. And like I said, we, at our age group, it's our responsibility to try to do our part to make the next people coming up be in a better situation when they hit our age. Is the goal.
100% accurate. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the sit down, bro. It was really nice talking to you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like we didn't get a chance to get goofy. We'll do that another time. You know what I'm saying? We've been silly since day one, but.
Oh yeah, we gotta definitely do that next time, because we could turn up, man. We got jokes for days and all that.
Put you in character, man. I'm gonna interview as somebody else, and you're gonna be somebody else. That's how we gonna roll. But like I said, I appreciate the sit down, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was wonderful. I feel good. I was really looking forward to talking with you. And like I said, it didn't let down. It was just what I thought it would be, a good conversation. And like great minds think alike. And like I said, you make me very proud of where I come from, because I know what we're about, and people got to see this part where we're from. This is the part people need to see. Don't let media outlets and other people with different agendas show you what's going on, because we know what's going on. We've been there, done that, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what we represent. So I salute you, and I want you to have a good night. God bless your family. God bless your parents and everybody, that influenced you to become the man you are. And I really appreciate you talking about the show. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Apollo Show. This has been my boy, Muhammad, man. Good man. Like I said, go check out everything. I'm going to put his links in the description. Go check out and give him some support, because like I said, he's doing what we need to be doing. So let's support that. It's easy to support nonsense and, mediocre stuff. Let's step our game up and support real stuff that's about real change. All right, you guys have a good night.
Appreciate you, brother.